Hey everyone, so I'm getting set up to cook. We are making fajitas today. So I will get set up here in a minute. Let me know if you're going to join in the comments below and I'll get set up. So today we're going to make Jason's famous fajitas. I usually use 1 pack of quick flat steak. I'm going to use about an onion and a half, which is in here. 3 tomatoes, 3 small Roma tomatoes. 1 golden pepper, 1 green pepper, 1 jalapeno, 1 orange pepper, and 1 red pepper. These are bell peppers, by the way. I'm also going to be using green leafy lettuce, red pepper, paprika, lemon pepper, Italian seasonings, garlic powder, and probably a little bit of extra onion powder, although I'm not going to use a whole lot of it since I already have onion. In fact, I may not even use it at all. I won't even use it at all. Also, nutmeg. I also use the Sprite packet in the Wow. These are about $7 or $8. At the market I go to, you can probably find them for cheaper. This will feed about a family of 4. This is a very detailed meal that I do, but it's so freaking good you will probably have feelings of sensations in your mouths that you're not used to feeling. That's too funny. Okay, so what I usually do first, I usually put the vegetables in the pan and then mix it with the meat and add the spices and cook it all together at once. It's kind of how I save time because it's a lot of prep work, but it really does pay off. I do hope that people are seeing this. And if you're not here, that's okay. Remember, you don't have to message me about catching lecture shows or catching whatnot. You can always watch them later. I'll post when they're done, so not to worry. This is a rather easy meal. I do this about once or twice a month. It's very hearty. It's it's bad for your heart, if that's what you mean. I also usually drain the grease out, but we'll get to that. So I'm cutting up the green leafy lettuce right now. And I usually try to make it diced. So that just means double cutting. If you don't know what that means, just cut it as small as you can. Don't worry too much. It's kind of a little different of a technique. Making sure all the ends here are cut too. I'll show pictures each step of the way so you can all see what I'm trying to accomplish. All right, that's the lettuce. Want it like that. If you can't see it, want it like that, basically. I know there's a glare. I'm sorry. I can't do anything about it. It's too much bright light. So you should all know what green leafy lettuce looks like when it's chopped up. If you don't, I can't help you. I can't do everything for you, damn it. I can't cook for you. It's not how it works. I mean, I could. You could pay me for it. I'll do that. With COVID out, I don't think anyone wants anyone new in their houses. Okay. So there we go. Lettuce is done. We move on to our green pepper. This green pepper is a little, got kind of a bit of a rough spot here. I'm going to cut around it and cut it off. So one thing people always kind of, I had to learn about vegetables is they don't get rotten right away. They start in a certain area. So if you see like a little soft spot on your vegetable, just cut it off and then try to cut up the vegetable as quick as possible. I'm going to be using the same ingredients tomorrow for fajitas. Probably tomorrow, so I'll be okay. This whole pepper is going to get cut up and put in here. This meal with prep time takes about 15 minutes to maybe a half an hour to 45 minutes to make. I'll probably take longer because I'm showing everything detailed step by step, so don't judge this time. There's something we do special with the tortillas that I will show. I kind of call it a bit of a cheese flour. It's I make the tortillas really cheesy and kind of try to melt the cheese in with the fajitas. Now, for those of you who are actually good at folding up tortillas, use your methods. I suck at it. So if you see me doing it wrong, I apologize. I can't fold shit. I'm too white. I don't have that gene, okay? Jews don't fold up tortillas. That's not what we do. Be lucky that I'm making Mexican food and me being Jewish, okay? Be thankful for that. We're not known for our greasy food. There are no Jewish burritos, okay? That's not how that works. Is this tortilla kosher? There's your Jewish joke of the day. And I know my accent for Jews is not very good. I realize I'm a bad Jew. I'm a bad representation of my culture, and I don't really care all that much. That's the part about that I tell people. I just don't care. Okay, so we're on to the tomatoes now, and I usually cut off the base, the top of it, and then I cut in the middle in little lines on each side. And then I slowly cut in pieces like that. Same thing over here. Cut in pieces like so. And then I throw away the end. And for those of you that have gardens, vegetables make really good cut up pieces of vegetables make really good compost. So if you don't want to buy compost at Home Depot anymore, make your own. Gather up vegetable peelings after you cook and put it in with the garden. It'll make everything, the natural decaying elements of the vegetables and fruit will make really good compost. It's really useful with gardening. My parents taught me that. I actually had no idea that was a thing. So, I don't garden. I don't have green thumbs. The only thing that is green that I have is nothing. Actually, never mind. That's not a good joke. That was supposed to be a good joke, and I just failed it. That joke failed. That joke wasn't a good joke. So here's our third tomato. Now you can adjust the ingredients. Don't think that the ingredients have to be exact. If you have a smaller family, I don't have a big family, but I just have a big appetite. Then this recipe is usually for about anywhere from 4 to 5 people. It being 1 fajita per. If you're going to eat 2, adjust it for that amount. So I always say cook for as many as you want to join in. Here's the onion. I may use less of this because these are really big onions. And what I do with my onions is I'll cut them up before. If I see that the skin is going a little black, I'll usually cut it up before and store it in a container, because if you're going to cook it later, it won't do anything to it. So this shouldn't take all that long. I usually eyeball things. I'm not big on measuring. By the way, I am really sorry I didn't post the egg meal again. I am very sorry about that. I went through a bit of a depression, and then I got over it, and then got really tired, and so I apologize for that. I just didn't feel like cooking, and so I just didn't. And I did mention earlier that these things would be a little up in the air. So I do apologize for that, though. I do feel bad about that. So I think that's enough onion, actually. I think we're good on onions. I'm going to leave this onion for tomorrow. And I won't post tomorrow's meal because it's done the exact same way. You don't need to see it twice. So unless you want to. If you want to, then by all means tell me, and I'll try to do a showing later on for lunch for that. But otherwise, you don't really need to. So there is that. I don't think anyone's here yet, which is fine. I'm hoping that you guys watch these, but I'm not sure. If you don't, that's okay. I'm sure I'll survive. I'm used to being an introvert. So alright. I'm dicing the peppers up as well. Usually I mince or dice. And slicing and dicing, if you don't know what the term dicing, that comes from just making it smaller. So here's what it looks like now. And I know there's a glare, and I'm sorry. There, I think that might have done it. So that's just like a half an onion, three tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, and then 3 slices of lettuce. Slices, just the things that peel off the lettuce. We're on to our red and orange. These are a little tough to get. The knife's kind of dull. So I have shitty knives, but they were free. Can't argue with that. I'm sure you will all understand it. Especially now. Alright, and technique I use. Just cut up each thing individually and then gather it all up like this and slowly slice down the middle like that. And then adjust for size, always. Alright, so that's almost done. I hope you all are doing well, by the way. I hope everyone is getting through this crisis. And any of my friends who are feeling lonely, feel free to message me. I'm always here for you guys. Even if I'm asleep, I'll get back to you. I don't sleep much anyway. I have a bad insomnia habit that is just kind of a thing. So. Here goes the oranges, peppers. Almost done with the slicing. I know this is a boring part, and I'm well aware of it. This is a very boring part of the show, so I apologize, but I wanted to include everything because the meal is kind of complex. Or at least I think it is. So, put those there. Unload our pad here. And try to mix everything around as best you can with your knife. Or with a spoon. Just to get space in there. We're almost done. We just got a jalapeno and some meat. And I will show how to make the cheese flour. I know everyone wants to learn the cheese flour. I know you're all excited about it because you keep saying you are. Oh my god, it's a cheese flour. Yes, it's a damn cheese flour. Because I'm freaking cool, that's why. It's dangerously cheesy. That's enough. That's enough out of you. You're not the Cheetos guy. I'm not a big fan of Cheetos, but I'll make fun of them. Because I can. That's why. Why don't you like Cheetos, Jason? Because I don't want to. Because it's fake cheese dust. I don't like cheese dust. I'm too white for cheese dust, okay? Why is that always an issue? Because it is. It's the truth. I'm just teasing. I don't know. I don't actually have the answer to that. That was meant to be funnier than it came out. Here's the jalapeno, by the way. So there's that. Almost all sliced up and done here. And I'm sorry I posted later. I ate later than I thought I would. I ate breakfast kind of late. And I didn't want to eat lunch, so few far between. So that's why I posted at 12:30 versus 11. Because it takes about a half an hour to 45 minutes to do all this shit. I mean, the cutting alone is just about a half an hour. So, all right, we got our beefsteak. You just open it. Screw it. We're going to be lazy. I apologize. I apologize for the lazy technique. But that's what we're doing. So if you want to be more a prepper, I suggest trying to deal with it. But I'm late, but I'm just not patient enough. So actually just put this all in here like so, because it's already, bring this here. Get all this out of here, like this. And you actually can put chicken in these too. And I have made chicken ones before. I actually created a Cajun fajita once. And I call it blackened Cajun fajitas, when in reality they're just extra spicy. And I just put a bunch of fucking pepper in it, and I call it blackened Cajun. I know that isn't really the right term. I don't care. I'm not PC. I don't care. The only PC I want to have in my life is the one on my desk. I don't care. So that's the extent of my, fajita skills, is Cajun chicken and fucking regular. So. I'm mixing up the meat right now to go with everything so that it all cooks down properly. Remember to wash your hands, people, very important. And I apologize for showing my butt. I know it's not pretty to look at, but we all gotta suffer things we don't want to see. So, and I have camera issues because I don't have a lot of good technology. So, we'll just get this pack open. And I just pour it on like so. And you'll know you have the right pack of quick steak because it'll have a picture of Philly cheesesteak and other steak items you put on it. And it's usually mostly used for Philly steaks. I make them for fajitas. All right, we're getting to the spices, which means we're toward the latter half of this meal. So, a little bit of paprika. Italian seasonings. This is the new thing like garlic, and I think I haven't used it yet. I have not. Didn't even have to bite into it. Look at that. Skilled. Hooray. A little bit of garlic powder. Bit of lemon pepper, nutmeg, and I know, and I'll show a picture of this, that it looks full. It will cook down. So that's what it looks like. That's what it should look like. It will cook down. So it's not going to be that huge. That's a lot of food. That's probably going to be a lot more than 4 to 5 tortillas, which is fine. All right, so let's get my wooden spoon here, if I can frickin' find it. I apologize for the butt being in your face again. I know it's annoying. Please deal with it. It's a... So... Where did I put my cover? I recommend covering your food so that it cooks faster. I usually use my biggest pan for this. Alright, that should take about 15 to 20 minutes to cook, roughly. Maybe a little bit less. We'll check on it as we go. Let's make the tortilla let's make the cheese flour. So we get our plate, we get our tortilla, and I am bad at wrapping, so I usually use 2 tortillas, but because this is a kind of a new-ish recipe, we'll show 1, and then I'll decide to layer them up later on, and I'll show pictures. All right, so here is our tortilla. So I use in my tortilla flour and my cheese flour, Swiss cheese, American cheese, and Monterey Jack, all the good ones. And I don't use whole slices. I use about a half a slice per tortilla. So, you tear it up like this into 8s. And you put a little bit on each side. Kind of like a star shape. You put 1 in the center. Make sure it's in, there's 5 per. And actually, that can be smaller. Here's the American. I color code these a little bit because I'm like that, but you don't have to, obviously. And like that. And then the last part of it is the Swiss cheese. And for that, I usually do it like this, and it's sliced in a different direction for a reason, because it goes in the corners and the edges of the flour, just like that. Ta-da! Flour of cheese. All right, let's check on our food here. Looks to be steaming up. It's just now sizzling. You will notice a lot of grease when you do this. I recommend, so they don't look like they came out of fucking McDonald's, that you drain the grease. Now, if you don't have a George Foreman grill, any sort of colander or strainer will work for draining the grease out. I usually mix it with water and just let it go in the drain because because beef grease does not clog up the thing as far as I know. It's never done before with my crap before, so I never worry about it. However, if you're a little unsafe about it, of course, put it in a can and throw it out later, of course. So that is going to cook down, and that is pretty much my fajitas, guys. The flours don't always look that pretty. That was a bit of it. Sometimes they don't look like pretty flours. They kind of look like the flour's slow cousin. That's horrible. I shouldn't say that. I really shouldn't make that joke. So here is that. This will cook down. I will post after pictures of this, because all you do with this, and this is a very, very easy meal because all of it is prep work. The rest you gotta do is just watch and stir and make sure nothing's pink or nothing's red and that everything looks cooked. If you don't know what cooked meat looks like, I can't help you. So, yeah. I forgot the red pepper. I'm clever. I swear I am. So, but I will post pictures too, so you guys can see how it looks. I may add another tortilla under here for the base because I don't trust my loading skills. So I can't get it full. I overfill the tortilla. I overfill tortillas. So I get it a little too full. So it gets a little too full of itself. That's a bad joke. That's a bad joke. So there is that. I will turn off the stream here in a minute because this is pretty much done. What I will occasionally do mid-cook if I want things smaller is I'll use the wooden spoon as a crappy-ass knife. That's why you saw me digging in there like that. So we can put all our crap away now. And we're pretty much not done. The meal isn't cooked yet, but all the process needs to be is just brown and look cooked, which I will post later on. Thank you all for joining me today to make Jason's delicious fajitas. For those of you that were here. If you weren't here, that's more than fine. Again, you can always watch these later. They are posted on Facebook. If you all think I should post these on YouTube, let me know and I can do that too. All right? Thanks, guys. Care about you all. Here for you all. Hope you guys stay safe and have a good day. I need to turn this thing off. Okay.